Hi everybody, my name is Jonathan. This is the second episode for Cyclists Are Beautiful. I am with Valentina Vicari. Valentina, I shall pass it over to you to do a small introduction.
Hi, my name is Valentina and I'm from Italy, but I've been living in London for about 8-9 years now. And I'm really into cycling, running, and I also quite enjoy going to the gym.
Well, Valentina, thank you so much for coming on board.
Thank you.
That's okay. Obviously, me and you have got a bit of history with the racing that we've done. So it's just going to be a really great opportunity to kind of talk about, your history, like how you got into cycling. So from my side, how did it start? Where did it all begin for you with cycling?
Sure, I think it all began when I was around 21. I knew how to ride a bike from before that, since I was a kid, but my parents never really let me cycle on my own for my teenage years. And also it was super lame to cycle back in school. But when I was 21, I decided why not pick up my old bike because I still didn't even have a driver's license. So I needed
where was
a
this?
way. When?
And where was it?
Where it was back in Italy, where I'm from, and it's a village in the countryside, so it's really hard to get around without a car or a method of transportation. So I just picked up my old bike. It was a really old mountain bike. Well, not super old, to be frank. I started riding, and then I really enjoyed it, and I did it more and more, and then I wanted to get a road bike, and then I moved here, and I just bought a road bike, and then one bike turned up being 4 bikes. So, yeah.
I think, let's dissect that. So, you were in Italy, you were kind of, there was no public transport, and you didn't have a driving license, so no car. You got a mountain bike. And your parents, so they would let you cycle around.
Well, I was 21 by then,
so it's like I can do what I want now, Mum and Dad. Awesome. Okay, yeah. And so after that, you were studying. You were at uni.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was finishing university, so I was still studying.
Okay.
But I had quite a bit of free time because I didn't really have many lectures. I was mostly focusing on my thesis and my final project. So.
And what were you studying?
Fashion design. I know it's quite different than what most people in the cycling community are into, but yeah.
It's cool. I think that explains, so we'll get into a few of the projects that you've got into, but it explains a lot about how you got into those and your passion for those. So after, so you're in Italy, you were doing your final year. What made you, so you came to London, was that to continue your education, or was that just...
I just wanted to live here and find a job here.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just packed my bags and came
and
bought my bike the same day. No, I think it was the next day.
What bike was it?
I still have a entry-level Giant Live road bike, the female Giant.
Yeah. So that was your first ever road bike?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I still have it, I still ride it.
How long have you had that now then?
8-9 years.
That's awesome. It's really nice to have a bike and just be able to keep it for so long. You build that history,
I do service when I have to.
When you can, yeah.
Not as often as I should, but yeah, I do like that bike, and
awesome.
I'm just gonna keep it.
So you arrived to London, you've got this bike, and you were working. What were you working as? What did you get into? Did you manage to get a job?
Well, I didn't have a job when I moved here, but I was working in a restaurant for a while, and then a cocktail bar, and then. I got fed up with it, and also, funnily enough, I got fired from the cocktail bar.
Oh, no.
And it's a really funny story, but after that, I just started doing deliveries, so being a bike messenger, and I really loved it, and I kept doing it for a few years. After a couple of months I had been doing that, I had a crash and I broke my arm. And so I was up for a few weeks. Luckily, it was only a month, and then I was fine to ride again. But during those weeks, I was just browsing through the internet, and I decided to get a fixed gear bike. And I found a really good deal for one of those, so I got that one.
Okay.
And then I think it was a couple years later, a year later, I got another road bike to live at my parents' place. It's a Mac.
Oh yes.
And I got that second hand, and it was a really good deal.
Nice.
So I got that one, but I don't have it in London. And then I was quite intrigued by gravel riding, so going off-road, and I found a really good deal for a gravel bike as well. So I got that one, and then,
That's really cool. I think we'll start off with we'll talk about the fixed gear. Like, what made you want to buy a fixed gear bike?
So that was when I started doing messenger work. A lot of the guys had fixie bikes, and I'd never seen them before. And I tried to just do a circle with one of them, and I was shocked by how it even like works. So I was just curious, and I thought, why not? I'm gonna try to get one. And a lot of people said that they are really easy to maintain because obviously you don't have a derailleur, you don't have a cassette, you just have cog chain, bottom bracket, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, that was why. Awesome. And they're really fun to ride.
Yeah. Well, I love my fixed gear riding. That's really cool. So it was kind of an influence from the people that you're working with. I suppose from that side, it's really cool where you get to see it firsthand, where it's like actually you're not like wearing out a 10-speed cassette and it's going to cost you £100 to replace because obviously there's like the chain and cassette. So it's just so much more efficient and easier to maintain, right?
Yeah, I can do it myself. I'm really bad with bike mechanics, but fixed gear,
super easy.
it's so easy,
That's so cool. So after that, and then you bought the mech, so you've got a pink mech.
Yeah.
That's like really fancy.
It's cute, it's cute.
Yeah, and that's over in Spain with your
parents. Yeah.
So what was what was the reason for wanting to buy that? Was that just like having a Ferrari in the countryside kind of thing?
Yeah, well, having a bike already there whenever I would go there with, so I wouldn't have to pack my bike and fly with a bike every time, or just get there and not have a bike. And
it's a nice bike though to have.
Yeah. I still have not serviced. It's been years because I probably only cycled like 2,000 kilometers on it, and it's always been dry weather, so it doesn't really have much wear or tear.
Oh, that's very good. Well done. So at what point, I think there are two things I really want to talk to you about. So you've got the VPaintz, and then we've got racing. So which one came first?
My VPaintz business, yes.
Okay.
Yes. So basically, when I was doing bike messenger work, I was really into it for like a year and a half, almost 2 years. So I just wanted to ride. Like every morning I would wake up and be like, oh, I want to ride 100K, let's go. And then I just got fed up. And I was looking for work, and I even did an internship. And I was still struggling to find work because in the fashion industry, you just have to have contacts, or without much experience, it's just really hard to get anywhere.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, I have these ideas to make bags. Maybe I should just start that and manage my time so that I still work doing deliveries, but I also find the time to start this little business and slowly build it up. So that's why I did it, and how I did it as well. It took me like a couple of years to start making actual sales online. And then I'm not gonna lie, I got fed up of that as well eventually, but that's just life, I think. You're not always going to be doing the same thing all your life.
It's true. For a time frame, did you see that it was kind of at least profitable, or was it just a form of income?
Yeah, it was pretty profitable.
Okay, that's good.
So it started being quite profitable during the lockdown, which was pretty convenient because I couldn't really work much doing deliveries. It was really dead. So I had extra time, and also had the grant from HMRC, it was like the furlough scheme. So I had some extra money from that. So I thought, let's just use my time to focus on my Etsy shop and build some more models and focus on that, and it worked out pretty well.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think, COVID was a disaster for everybody, but it's great that you were able to it was an opportunity to focus on one of these passions that you're really strongly minded about. That's very, very cool. So you don't do that anymore though? Have you shut it down?
More or less. I do a few bags here and there for people that I know, but I don't really take online orders anymore because I actually have a full-time job, so it's just too much.
Right, going back to it, so
Racing, was it?
you only do, for the bags, you only do for special orders?
Yes.
So if there are any famous riders out there who want a very, very top quality bag, reach out to VPaintz.
Yeah, I may not have the time to do it, but if you really want one, let me know.
Yeah, definitely. Then there's racing, which obviously we've got quite a lot of history with, and I think looking at your history within racing, you've done incredibly well. Like,
thank you.
You've got you've got so many. If there were medals for them, you'd be having a wall full of medals. But like how did you get into it? Like, what was the beginning for you?
So it's a funny story, even that, because I knew about crit racing since I think it was 2017, because a friend was racing in the Thunder Crit, and I went to see it. But it didn't even cross my mind to join it, because I thought I'm just not at that level. I just can't do it. Even if I was cycling 100 kilometers a day, I just thought it's not for me. And then there was obviously the lockdown, so there were no races for a while, and I wasn't in the loop. And then I met this guy who told me that the week after there will be a race, and anyone was free to join.
What race
so I
was
just went. Ishk.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was your first race.
Yeah, the last one in. Was it? I think it was before COVID. Yes, that was the last race until like 2 years
Was it
later.
minute crit or was it Ishk?
No, Ishk. The
Ishk,
last
okay.
Ishk of
So it was after they
3
did the little
sessions, I
rebrand.
think, yeah. And so I was looking forward to join the next race, but there were no races for quite a long time.
Yeah.
And then I met Cafeteros with Sanchez, well, you, and joined them for a while, as long as they lasted, and I got more into racing,
Yeah.
and also abroad, going to Berlin. That was just really
Awesome. Because I remember watching you race. There was a race, I think, was it the Fix42 series or was it a Herne Hill Crit where we saw you racing?
Yeah, that was the Fixed Beer series. I think it was
the first one.
Maybe the last one of 2021.
Okay.
2021, yes.
Wow. Because when we saw you racing, it was like, she's really cool, and we're surprised that she hasn't been welcome to the team yet.
I'm not actually that fast. I just love the vibes, and I try and do really well, but I'm not.
Well,
not
I think your results were say otherwise. You had multiple podiums. You came, was it second or third overall in the Fixed Beers Crit League?
Oh yeah.
I think that was 22. 2022. You then came first place at the Great London Alleycat, which was
again
that
was cool.
another achievement.
Yeah.
I think
I love the alleycats as well.
Yeah, you've got a big, you've left a big imprint on the alleycat scene. What was your story with that? Like, how did you get into alleycats? What was?
It was through bike messengering, to be honest. I think my first alleycat was way back 2018, probably. If you ever heard of the cemetery alleycat, where you go to 6 cemeteries.
Was that the one hosted by the London
Sabto Couriers?
Okay.
I was with Frank. I don't go to all the alleycats, but that was my first one, and it was quite a long distance alleycat. And I really enjoyed that side of it. I prefer the long ones versus the short and sweet ones, to be honest.
Yeah, because
you can make errors and make up, but with the short ones, there's just no room for being slow or like taking a wrong turn. So
yeah, they're savage, aren't they? It's literally there's no room for error. So the Great Alleycat, that was what 100 kilometers or almost 100 kilometers.
Yeah. A bit over. It was about 100. Yeah, maybe 102.
And you did amazingly well, like not only in your category or for cis women, but you also beat a lot of men who
I was so surprised
about
that.
You did so well, and it's I think when I saw it, I couldn't be any happier for you. It was just incredible.
Even the second time I did it, I wasn't second overall, but I was still shocked that I did really well. I think I don't remember what position I got, but I think it was like 13th.
Wow.
Overall, and I was really shocked about that as well.
Yeah, that's incredible. So, how do you think you were able to do so well? Is it?
I think it's just the experience of getting around with my phone from doing bike messenger work. Also because when I was doing deliveries, it was always all over London. It wasn't really in the city because I was doing a lot of food deliveries. And I would just start from like East London and end up in Southwest within an hour.
Oh wow!
Because of the way the app worked. So I'm not saying I'm really knowledgeable of all the streets, but I know how to work with my phone.
I think you are very knowledgeable.
I just know how to work with my phone and like know all the ways to find the right the right.
I think
route.
that's a great school because it's very difficult to, from my perspective, it's very difficult to remember all of the streets and all of the postcodes, right?
Yeah, same for me. Same for me. It's just my skill using the phone. I don't actually remember the street names.
That's crazy. Well, it's crazy because it's that, but I do definitely think there's a lot of skill there, from your side, where it's like, you know how to filter through traffic.
Oh
you,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, you know
important.
how junctions work in London and all of the different junctions that we have. So I think that's a lot of the kudos goes to you and your skill and the experience you've gained through all of the work that you've done. So yeah, like a very well done. After the Great Alleycat, you also did Fix42,
Yes.
hosted by Rad Race.
Yeah.
How was that?
Oh, that was great. I did it twice actually last year as well.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't really do too well, but
It's a whole different kettle of fish, isn't it?
Yes. Especially with the hill at the start. It wasn't really a hill, but it felt like a mountain. So, yeah. But I really enjoyed it. I can't wait for the next one. It'll be in August.
To the viewers who don't know about what Fix42 is, how would you summarize it?
It's a long distance race in Berlin, and it's closed roads, and it's on fixed gear.
You've done, so, obviously because we were racing in the same team, a lot of the racing was in Berlin. So you also did last
Man standing, yeah.
Yeah. Like, how did that go for you? Like,
oh, it was cool. It was a bit sketchy, to be honest.
Yeah?
So,
like what was the sketchiest moment for you?
it was just starting with so many people in the same line because so many people signed up, but they didn't have the time to have enough rounds for everyone. So it was like 10 people crammed in a small line, and I don't remember if I was in the first row or the second row, so you would end up being 2 rows. So if you start behind someone, like, you're already at such a big disadvantage. And it was starting and feeling someone's wheel on my wheel, like we were about to crash, and then going, and then, I didn't do too well in that, to be honest.
But you didn't crash?
I didn't crash, and I wasn't last, but
That's good.
I got eliminated in the first round.
Oh, wow.
But to be fair, it was like 9:30 p.m. when my race started, and we had been there since 12:30. It was a long day, and at some point in the evening, I just got fed up of waiting. I went outside and had a beer.
Nice. It's a bit, it sounds a bit, it's a bit chaotic. I think what they were trying to do is really, really cool, like the atmosphere and,
it was great.
And the vibe. And I think being part of that is incredible. But yeah, having to wait 9 hours to race is a bit,
for
bit crazy.
For sure.
If someone wanted to start racing internationally, would you recommend Fix42 as perhaps one of their first races to consider? Or
Depends how confident you are with long distance. If you can ride at quite a fast pace for 42 kilometers on a fixed gear, then go for it. Why not? And also feeling confident in a group because, well, in my case, I was in the group for a while, but then I got dropped. So I was on my own, but for guys, you would always be in a pack. So it's quite important to feel confident with that rather than scared of having people around. Because if you are, you may just end up crashing. And it's not really
it's very
good.
close quarters, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you got dropped, like, how did that feel? And do you know why? Like, what happened?
There's always, so you're always going, at least in the women's field, yeah? You're going in the pack, and you're going, then someone does an attack, and everyone follows them. But if you don't have the legs to pick up the pace and just stick to their wheel, you'll get dropped, and then you have to work so much harder to reach them. So I did that a couple times, and I managed to get there. And then the third time, they attacked again, and I was just like, nah, that's not my day.
Oh wow!
But I don't really care too much about that. I think I still did pretty well for my level of fitness anyway. It's all that matters. At the end of the day, I wasn't gonna win. Like, anyway.
Yeah, I think that level of sport and racing, I think people are training months in advance with the best gear they could possibly get.
Yeah.
To race at this level. Obviously, we know last year's Fix42 champion, James Ambrose Parrish.
Yeah.
So we know him. But it's when we see the level of training that he does for it, it's insane. So
we're not all in it for the same reasons. So.
Yeah, Would you do anything different this year for Fix42?
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, last year I had a few months of not really great mental health, so I wasn't really training much. I wasn't taking training particularly seriously or training at all. I was doing my regular training, like cycling to places and doing my runs and all that. But this year I wanna be a little bit more serious. Obviously, I'm not aiming to win or anything, but just for myself.
Okay, yeah, 100%. I think, when we set ourselves little challenges like that, it's just great to kind of hit those and accomplish those challenges, right?
Yeah, it makes it more fun as well to try and be better every year.
Yeah, great.
Well, obviously there has to be a balance. You don't want to train like set in your mind that you're going to do these on Monday, these on Tuesday, on Wednesday, and then even if you have a bad day at work or you just don't feel like you do it, I don't think that's really healthy. But as long as there's a good balance and you actually have the motivation to do that, then that's good.
Agreed. I think living in Britain, it's very difficult as well, where because of the weather, if you don't have indoor training facilities, you're pretty much screwed during the winter. But I think from my side, it's all excuses, for me, because I stopped training and I need to get back into it.
It's hard to train as well when you have a full-time job. You have to commute to the workplace and then focus on your work, and then you finish and you just want to get home and eat dinner and relax. But
Agreed.
Most days it's like that when it's winter and it's dark at 3 p.m. and it's raining and it's depressing. But I think spring is coming, so hopefully motivation will come back as well.
Spring back into action.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, one thing I wanted to mention was your Scream. So you won, was it last year's or the year before? It was the Great Alleycat of London.
Year before, the first one, 2022. Yeah.
Awesome. So you won it?
Framing's a Scream. I know this.
Okay.
It's really nice. It's my daily bike nowadays.
Have you noticed anything different with it?
It does feel different. It's a different setup. My Giant was very aggressive. So I feel a bit more comfortable on this one for some reason.
And you're riding this one today with wide bars?
Yeah, I got the wide bars.
Nice, and a little brake.
And a little brake. That doesn't work too well, but it does save me on the downhills.
That's good, that's good.
I'm not a brakeless rider.
Yeah, no, neither am I. Other than Fix42, do you have any other cycling related projects that you want to work on this year?
I would like to do some more long distance riding, that's for sure.
Okay.
Last year I went to Bristol, and in the past I've gone to Paris as well.
Oh, wow.
And I would like to do a ride like that again, maybe go to Amsterdam or Paris or somewhere.
Awesome.
That's like 200-300k in one go.
Yeah, that'd be really nice.
That'd be cool.
And
also bikepacking.
You want to do bikepacking?
Yeah, well, I don't think I will do any racing, but I tried bikepacking last year a couple of times and I really enjoyed it.
Awesome.
It's not, I don't consider it proper fitness cycling because it's more for the views and the adventure of it rather than being fit. But I do love that.
Yeah, it's a very more scenic angle for cycling, isn't it?
A bit more social as well.
I think moving more into cycling, cycling clubs and stuff. Have you joined another cycling club since, or?
No, I'm not.
So you're riding solo?
Solo with friends.
Okay.
I mean, don't think it really counts as a cycling club. Fix Pirates and Fix Beers.
Okay.
Extended, it's more all cycling community. I just cycle with my friends mostly.
Fair dues.
And that's it.
Shall we do a shout out for Fix Pirate Crew and Fix Beers?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, a shout out from Valentina for Fix Beers and Fix Pirate Crew. I ride the Fix Beers rides on Thursdays as well, and Fraser is an absolute legend. When we all ride out as a group, it's just an awesome experience.
Yeah, for sure, especially when it's nice weather and we're going fast.
Awesome. I think we will wrap up in a moment. But so first of all, from my side, I want to say a massive thank you to Via for hosting us today. They are a bike shop / cycling cafe over in King's Cross. They have some very, very nice bikes, clothing, accessories, apparel, etc. Valentina, thank you so much for joining.
No, thank you for inviting.
No, you're very welcome. It's been awesome to hear about your story. Did you want to do any shout-outs for any of your social media projects, or what's your Instagram tag?
My Instagram tag is LuniV, and my business account is VPaints.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, if you like her stories and if you wanted to follow her, then they will be here on the screen. And if you wanted to get a custom bag and beg her to make one, then I'm sure she'll also consider your purchase. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. So this was episode 2 with Valentina. Please subscribe and we'll see you in the next episode. Cheers, bye.